Okay, well, we got missed by the hurricane, which is great. So I can actually work out here today. A couple of real quick tidbits. I have started to sand where I'm going to put in my floor panels, and I sanded the remaining metal down last week, and I guess it's flashed back pretty hard with the rust, but again, that's not too much to think about because the flash rust comes off pretty quickly, easily. So I'm going to work on that again today. I took off the transmission, the manual transmission levers, and the transfer case levers, boots, and saw what the person that owned it before me did, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done there as well. As you can see, the hole here, I'm going to have to cut out a piece that's going to be put in there, cut out a square, make that hole that I'm looking at into a square. It sounds like I live on a highway, but you know, I really don't. Just very popular place, I guess. Anyways, make that into a shape, and then cut out a piece of metal in that same shape and weld it in there. I'm not really sure about the plate that's been put on over the transmission and the transfer case here. But what I am doing is I'm leaving the weather protected that's on there. I'm leaving that alone because as soon as I start sanding that off again, what I'm going to see is that same flashing that's going to happen down here. So I'm going to try to get into that today. I bought a Bauer electric shear from Harbor Freight. I bought the 14 amp simply to, I feel like I live like in Las Vegas or something on the strip with this traffic. I don't know. Is it that popular, really? Anyways, so I bought that metal shear, and I'm going to cut the floor panels out that go in, and I'm also going to cut more into the metal that's already on there. What I did also last week, to give you again a reference point of what I'm working on, I do also put up a tent sidewalls to work on my Jeep with, because again, I don't have a garage, and being a sort of kind of semi-lucently presenting itself neighborhood that's doesn't have an HOA, thank the Lord, just keep out of people's visibility so nobody gets high-strung about how dare you work on your Jeep in my neighborhood. It's just kind of funny. But anyways, last week I worked on this side of my floor panel, and I ran a line across the metal there and cut into that, and practiced shearing off or trimming the line there that where the floor panel was going to go in, so that when I put the floor panel in, they match up pretty closely. It's still wobbly, but what I found is as you go in with the angle grinder, and there's probably better tools for this, but when you go in with the angle grinder, after you've cut it, you can simply put in your angle grinder and kind of cut off the wobble of this line here, so I can get it as straight as I can before I cut into my floor panel. It for me, being brand new, well, I guess not so much brand new, I've had a lot of cutting with this before, but far as cutting straight lines is concerned, it does seem fairly easy. You just simply, as it's put by the welder I know, you're just trimming off whatever you need to get it as straight as you can, and that's about it. The other thing I'm doing today as well is I am of the realization of that I sanded into my side panels of the Jeep itself, which I'm going to try to zero in on here. And again, I don't want to make everybody go crazy, but on the side panel, well, it's super rusted as well. Rust, if I had a name and I was of a nomadic tribe, my last name would be Of Rust. I've become a family member through working with this Jeep, and probably I'm going to have some altercation of my health from that, but anyways, it's Jeep, right? Okay, so I'm gonna have to buy new side panels basically from Classic Enterprises. They have really good prices on their side panels. I really don't want to. I really hardly can afford it, but hey, there you go. All right, so again, that side panel down below where the rocker panel is, I guess that's what it's phrased as, just kind of eaten up. It's gonna be hard to tack weld the floor panel onto that, and I'm kind of figuring, since I'm taking the cowl out too, man, wobbling makes me crazy, and I know it probably makes you crazy as well. No, nothing personal. So when I take the up here, when I take the floor, the cowl off, and I'm also going to take out the it's a bad angle to do it at, but the cowl support that's attached to the floor, the side panel, I'm in a serious debate here. I think it'd be just easier to take off the side panel with the old cowl than have it remove the old cowl support. Let me rephrase that. So I think it would be easier to take off the entire side panel with the old cowl support, seeing how the cowl is coming off anyways, and then put the new cowl support with the new side panel on there, and that's about it. This one is interesting, you know, as a newbie in Jeep restorations. I really have to be really careful, as my transfer case right here is really close to my original floor panel wall. Well, I'm sorry, the original floor panel metal here. And as I go in and cut that, I've got to be really super careful. There's not much room between the two. I did it the first time, I know I can do it again, because I'm a winner. Okay, so that's it for that. The main thing I'm doing also is, after contemplation, I am basically going to go ahead and take my neighbor's advice, and I'm going to fog the engine, which is my greatest concern now. It's been down for so long. I'm going to remove my spark plug wires, my spark plugs, and then I'm going to hit it with a fluid from Stable, and it's a I'm looking for it now. There it is. Stable fogging oil. I don't even get ad revenue from this, but look at that. Wow, hooray. Anyway, so I'm going to remove the spark plugs, the spark plug wires, and I'm going to shoot my stable in there after they're removed for about 2 to 3 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and reattach, which you can see is missing now, my battery, and turn it over a couple times to get it all throughout the piston, on the piston rings and stuff like that in there. The greatest reason I'm doing that is, I mean, the most imperative rationale I'm doing that for is it's been down for so long. I just get really anticipative of being in the salt air like I am, which is Salt City, that it's gonna freeze up. I really don't think that a Jeep will, because my old one, basically you could beat it with a baseball bat and it wouldn't do anything wrong, which is good. So that's what I'm doing today, and I am charging up the battery and gonna just give it a couple turnovers and then put it all back together. So again, I'm gonna take off the spark plugs wires, take out the spark plugs, shoot it in each chamber, put the spark plugs back in, turn it over 2 or 3 times, and say a prayer. And that's about it. So until next time.